What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Ziggy Doom, man. How is everybody doing? Did y'all enjoy that solar eclipse a couple days ago? The moon passing over the sun. Lunar eclipse is the other way around, but it was a solar eclipse. Certain people in certain states was able to see it real good. We could see it a little bit where I was at, in like Texas and a couple other places. Mexico, you really could see it real good. It was a pretty interesting sight, man. Happens, I think, once every 20 some odd years. So the next one, I think they said 2047 or something like that. But hope y'all got to watch that and experience that kind of once or twice in a lifetime event. What's good, man? Your boy Ziggy Doom said that earlier. Before we get started, man, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, man. It's really important that you guys do that. If you do enjoy my content, if you don't enjoy my content, then you probably won't sit through this, or you probably wouldn't even hit my channel up for those people that don't enjoy or support me. But for those that do, welcome back. Y'all, like I tell y'all all the time, man, life happens. So it's hard to be consistent with these things because I have a whole lot going on. And as y'all know, it's getting closer to the summer. So I got to start getting ready to get all the kids together. Well, not all of them, but the majority of them together for the summer. And so I do a lot of cleaning, a lot of prepping, a lot of planning. We try to do fun things, but it's as my kids get older, they're some of them, what they enjoy for fun becomes a lot different. Back when they were all little bitty things, we could just go to a place and they could get on a ride or two and be good. But now it's so diverse. Some of them want to go to concerts. Some of them want to do slides. Some of them want to do roller coasters. Some of them just want to play arcade games. But we still make it work, man. Because that's what we do over here on Team Doom. I had my podcast was supposed to be on polygamy. I had a friend who she's ventured into polygamy, and she was giving a lot of insight on a lot of things about polygamy that I didn't know. And my ignorance of it had my views, because of my ignorance of it, my views were really like kind of, slanted. But she gave a little bit more insight on it. And it was a really good podcast, man. We was talking about like marriage and celibacy and everything. But when I transferred the file over to my other phone, I had the file, but I lost the audio. And I'm like, man, what happened to the audio? So audio is real important in these videos. And I lost the audio. So it was like, man, so we're going to do it again. That would have been my next podcast. But like I said, I lost the audio. So, we got to get our schedules together when she has free time and I got free time. But this podcast, man, we're going to talk about something that everyone has experienced at least once in their life. Some people probably experience it once a week, and that's retaliation. Should we retaliate to people who did us wrong, or for whatever reasons, evil, vindictive, just because they was bored, or maybe because they didn't know any better, which I kind of find pretty hard to do, to be vindictive or do something to somebody that's evil and you didn't know it was evil or whatever. But should we retaliate? So first of all, you religious people, obviously retaliation isn't the way to go because according to the Bible, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So you religious people, y'all already know no retaliation, right? God fight y'all battles. But for the other people, retaliation. So we've all been in a situation where somebody may have said one thing and done another, right? Like, oh, I'm not going to do this to you, or I'm not going to do that, or I am going to do that. I am going to, and their actions didn't match their words. And we feel some kind of way about it, right? We've all been there. Somebody just like did us wrong. Now, sometimes there is a time that will come where you are able to retaliate, right? Like you can get that person back by whatever means. Let's say, we'll keep it simple. You at a stop sign and your car run out of gas, and somebody that knows you ran out of gas, know they can give you gas, but they just look at you and drive off, right? And then the next day, they at that same stoplight ran out of gas, and you pull up and you look at them. That is the moment where you can retaliate or not. What would you do? My stance on it is this. Retaliation is something that I don't think is ever justified. Some people may understand, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But for me, I try, okay? Listen to me, because the internet, y'all real selective with words. I try to always be the bigger person in a situation. And if I can help somebody that has wronged me, if I can help them, I, try to help them. I have not done it all the time, okay? I'm human. I ain't freaking perfect. But I generally try to look at a situation from a person that has wronged me. And if I can help them, I still try to help them. Because for me, retaliation it's a negative energy. I'm all about energies, right? Good energies, bad energies, positive energies, negative energies. I firmly believe that energy is something that's transferred from one state to another. So when you retaliate, that is not a positive energy. So you're just transferring that energy on to someone else. And it was probably given to you from the person that made you feel that way. So for me, I don't try to retaliate. When someone wrongs me or does something that they know is going to make my life more difficult, if that's what they do, all I do is distance myself from those type of people and those type of situations. Because retaliation, you're just transferring the negative energy. So when someone wrongs me, that's where it stops. I just say, you know what? Okay, you know you did me wrong. Like people that they when they do somebody wrong, they usually know it, right? You know when you do somebody wrong, you have a feeling in you that it's like this don't feel right. That's the feeling right there. When you still act, then you wrong someone. But for me, the people that wrong me, I tend to leave it right there. Like, you're only gonna wrong me one time. You're not gonna be able to wrong me no more, because I'm gonna make sure I deal with you as little or at if at all. That's what I'm going to do. If I have to deal with you for whatever reason, I will deal with you for that reason and that reason only. I don't care what you say. I don't care. I didn't know. I thought this. Don't even worry about it. You did what you did. I felt wronged. So this is how I'm going to respond. And shout out to the people that think they can treat people any kind of way and make choices that they want to make that affect someone else. But then when that person reacts the way they do to them, now they have a problem with it. They don't understand. Why are you not doing this anymore? Why are you not doing that anymore? Why? Well, why wasn't you thinking about that before you did the thing that wronged that person? See, everyone has a choice. This is what I preach to my children. Everyone has a choice to do right or wrong, good or bad. Everyone. Whether you feel the choice you made was right or wrong, there's always a consequence to it. Now, when you make a choice that directly affects another person's livelihood, regardless of the choice, when you do something that directly affects another person's livelihood, you have to also understand that the way that person reacts to it may not be the way you think they should react to it, because that's not how people work. I can't wrong somebody and then expect them to just smile about it or be okay with it. No, if I wrong somebody, I have to expect the absolute worst. Honestly, how you gonna say something to somebody or do something to somebody that changes their lifestyle and you don't have to do it? You can make another choice, but you choose to make the choice that changes their livelihood and then expect them to respond a certain way. That is delusion. You are delusional if you think people are going to do that. You make a choice and you have to live with that choice. whether you agree or not. So if I'm making a choice that only affects me, good or bad, wrong or right, I have to live with that. That's all on me. I can't deflect blame or say, well, this person done that or that. No. Now, when I make a choice that I know is going to affect someone else, affect the way they live, the way they function, the way they operate, yeah, I'm going to be like, okay, I know I did this. Can I live with the consequences? I mean, I don't have a choice. But retaliation, either way, retaliation is not the route to go. I've been wronged so many times, whether it was justified or not. Well, you can't really justify wronging someone, but people have wronged me and have tried to justify it, right? By saying things like, well, I don't think it was wrong, or I think it was okay, or I didn't think it would affect your life or drastically change anything, or whatever. And it's like, okay, cool. You may not think that when you made that choice, but that's not how I think. So what do? Those people, I make sure I distance myself from them. I'm only going to talk to you when I have to. And if I don't have to talk to you, I'm not going to talk to you. So if you're wondering why conversations change, maybe it's because you did something that affected the person that you were conversating with in a bad way. And that's where communication is so important to communicate, because a lot of people don't communicate. A lot of people talk and don't listen. See, we got two ears. We got two ears and one mouth. That's because listening is twice as important as speaking. That's why we got two ears and one mouth. But so many people focus on talking and not listening. And when you do that, then you are not really an effective communicator. You aren't, because all you're doing is talking and then waiting to talk. When you're not talking, you're not listening, you're just waiting to talk again. I do not know how to talk to people that do that. When I talk to someone that's like that, I limit my conversations to yes, no, and okay. That's what I do. Because trying to talk to somebody that doesn't listen, I mean, you might as well talk to the wall, talk to the ground, talk to an ant or a butterfly, because you're going to get the same results from talking to somebody that doesn't listen. So when you aren't able to, and most people ask them, do you know how to communicate? Oh yeah, I'm a great communicator. I know how to talk. But if you don't know how to listen, if you have to interrupt someone every time they're talking, if you raising your voice every single time, now you're getting your feelings involved. Now you're getting emotional. And once you get emotional, you have effectively damaged the communication, because emotion has to be regulated. When you're having a debate, a discussion, you have to understand that everything in that discussion isn't going to be the way you see it. You're not going to agree with what that person says. But what I've learned, and whoever's offended by this, good. If you're offended by what I'm finna say, good. What I've learned is that the people with the least amount of education and vocabulary and knowledge are the ones that get angry the most and scream the most and interrupt conversations the most. And if you're one of those people and you feel some kind of way, I don't care. That's what I've learned. Who the limited vocabulary, they don't really know many words, or they'll say it is what it is to end a conversation. You ask them a question and it doesn't matter. That's their answer. Okay. So now I know you aren't intelligent enough to carry on in a conversation where you listen and speak. You know, understand that this conversation, you're not going to always be right. You're not going to always be correct. You're not going to always say the right things. When you can't understand that, we can't have an effective conversation. So I'm not going to talk to you. My response is going to be yes, no, and okay, period. So when you have effective communication, then that's one less thing you have to worry about when it comes to being wrong. If you tell somebody something and they tell you something and y'all have a clear understanding and there's no disambiguity, then you can't be wrong later on because you said exactly what you were going to do. Now, when you lying, when you say you're going to do one thing and do another, well, now I can't trust you, so I'm really not going to deal with you. And once again, this is how I address somebody that has wronged me versus retaliation. Because one thing I'm not going to do, you can do whatever you want to do. You can say whatever you want to say about me, but you're not going to steal my joy. You are not going to steal my happiness because you didn't create it. You didn't create my joy. You didn't create my happiness. So you can't take it away. You can try to take it away. Try to make me unhappy or miserable, but you're not going to be able to because I'm not going to entertain you. And that's what gives people that have wronged you power. When you entertain it, you want to go back and forth with your kid's mother or your kid's father about something. They did you wrong. You feel some kind of way. You're just giving them energy. You're giving them time. So they're actually winning. But when you just look at them and say, okay, and walk away, in my book, you automatically win. So all the people that have wronged me, most of them probably ain't even gonna watch this video. And that's fine, because like I said, when I do these videos, I put them out there to the world because it's not about me. It's not about me being wronged. It's so much as wronged and retaliation for everybody. But to anybody that has wronged me, if I did retaliate, I apologize. I really do. I apologize. But if I've told you what you did was wrong, this is what I'm going to do. If I told you that and I did it, I don't think that's retaliation. I don't. If I tell you, if I say, don't do this, because if you do this, then I'm going to do that. And you still do it. And I do that, I don't think that's retaliation. If I tell you, but if I don't tell you, then, and I do retaliate, or I have retaliated, I'm sorry, then I sincerely apologize to those people. I don't make it my duty to be vindictive or vengeful or anything. And it is a lot of people that have wronged. It's a lot of people that can look in a mirror and say, you know what? What I did to Ziggy Doom was wrong. I shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. That's fine. But if you look in the mirror and you say, I've never wronged Ziggy Doom, and this is for the people that have wronged me. Y'all, this is just me on my little high horse right now. If you've looked in the mirror and said, I've never done anything to wrong Ziggy, well, that's very telling in itself. And the famous words of most people, it is what it is. But yeah, don't retaliate, man. Retaliation, nah, it's negative energy. You just giving it back. And then you retaliate to them, and then they retaliate to you, right? At some point, neither one of y'all are gonna be happy. I'm gonna always choose happiness in a situation. I'm gonna choose peace, and then I'm gonna choose happiness. Because I'm not letting nobody steal my peace. Bro, if you are making my life chaotic, and you're not my child, because my children I have to deal with. If you're making my life chaotic or harder or more difficult or more frustrating, and I don't have to deal with you, I'm not going to deal with you. I don't have to. Period. Now, if you make my life harder, challenging, frustrating, and I have to deal with you, I'm going to only deal with you when I absolutely have to, because that is me preserving my peace. And my peace matters more to me than retaliating against you does. So for me, retaliation is nah. Because at some point in life, you want to have peace. And how are you going to have peace if you're wasting any energy trying to retaliate against somebody? That's not peace. Retaliation and peace, that's not how that works. You don't have to retaliate for peace. And you won't get peace when you retaliate. So you can't, they don't go hand in hand. When you retaliate, you're saying, I don't want peace. And some people, some people are perfectly fine with that, right? Some people, like I say, eye for an eye. If you harm my child, do I harm your child? Or do I harm you? You see what I'm saying? Some people, that's, I mean, some countries, that's actually, I think, the law. Like, you steal something, you get your hand chopped off, stuff like that. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But even with that being said, right, what does that really do for you? So, okay, let's go with this one. I want them to see how I feel. Okay, so if someone, and this is extreme, y'all, but I'm just it's part of the podcast. If someone harms your child, however you feel at that moment, angry, whatever, however you feel, doesn't necessarily mean when you harm their child, they're going to feel the exact same way. Think about that for a second. Think about it. You did it because I want you to feel how I felt when you did that to my child. But what if they don't feel the same way? Because once you harm their child, you cannot control how they feel about it. You can't. And you probably do want them to feel the way you felt when they harmed your child. But what if they don't? Now you just harmed an innocent child for no reason at all. That's what you did. Think about it. I mean, I be wanting y'all to think in my podcast, man. Just really think about it for a second. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You stole from me. I'm going to steal from you. Okay, so let's just say this person that stole from you, they got money, but they had a situation and they needed something urgently, so they stole from you. Bam. Right? Now you don't have no money. So they stole your money. Now you up a creek. Okay. So I'm going to steal from them because I want them to feel how I felt. Now you steal from them. They got money. So when you steal from them, they already got money. They're not going to feel how you feel because they got money. It's like, oh, I lost whatever money from them. Okay, I'm going to have it back next week. So now you just became a thief for no reason at all, because someone stealing from you doesn't justify you stealing from them. Once you do that, you're still a thief. Someone lying to you doesn't mean you can lie to them, because once you do that, you become a liar. And that's how that works, man. If you really think about it, a lot of people don't be thinking, but if you really think about it, that's how that works. Retaliation is something, and I don't even with my children, because I don't have to retaliate. Life will teach. So for me having to retaliate, life gonna teach, period. And I also believe in karma. I believe in karma. So because I believe in karma and life teaching, then all I do for the people that have wronged me, I just keep living. Keep living. And see what happens. But no matter what, y'all, don't let nobody steal your joy. Don't let nobody steal your happiness. Don't let nobody think that their actions have somehow stole your joy, because now they win. And whoever is chirping in their ear, because sometimes people can't think for themselves. So they need somebody else to think for them and tell them, oh, you should do this to him. You should do that to him. Doesn't matter. Now, it's going to be even worse for them, because when they find out that you did what they told you to do to somebody else and it didn't change nothing, they're gonna feel some kind of way about it. But guess what? It's not your problem. Don't retaliate, y'all. Somebody wrong you, you just limit your contact with them. Don't give them a chance to wrong you twice. How about that? How about that, YouTube? If somebody wrongs you, don't give them a chance to wrong you twice. And we good. Effective communication. And if somebody wrong you, don't let them wrong you twice. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Don't let nobody steal your happiness. And don't let nobody steal your peace. Try to leave the world better than you found it to. But that's it for this podcast, man. I'm going to get with Vince. I'm going to see when we can do that other podcast. I really want to get this polygamy one out there. I think it's a good one. Y'all should hear it. I know polygamy is very controversial. I didn't agree with it. I mean, I still don't, But if y'all can just listen to a person that has actually been on that side of the fence and get their point of view, it might give you a bit of more insight. It definitely gave me more insight. And she really has some good points that I didn't even think of about polygamy, the pros of it. But yeah. So that'll be my next podcast. Like I say, man, if y'all, as always, leave it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. And until the next YouTube video, be easy.